Hello, everybody. Hi, we're here. We're live, and welcome to today's webinar for the 6th of May. And thank you for joining us today. And today we're going to be looking at, following on from yesterday, a little bit more about your social media and actually creating a post. But we're also going to be looking at your website and some tips and tricks around that. So we've got some good content planned for you today. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hello, Alan, Wayne. Good morning. Wendy, Trisha. Looks like everyone's in the room there. We're just giving it a couple of minutes for people to join. Some people sometimes join around 3 or 4 minutes past. So good to see everyone. What a lovely day indeed. Very sunny here. Hello, Vince. Hello, Stephen. Hi, Peter. From Wimbledon Dental Spa, London, all the way down in London. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Hope everyone's well. Josh is here as well. He's joining me today. And we're going to get straight on with it. So let's get started because we want to get this wrapped up by 12 p.m. I was going to say 3, but I'm thinking of the wrong thing. So we're looking to get this wrapped up by 12 p.m. So let's get going. All right. So you should see my screen. And Josh, can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Hello. Yes,
Hi,
I can.
Josh. Hi.
How are you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you, Josh?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you.
Great to see you again today.
Thank you. You too.
So everything looks good from your point of view, Mr. Technical?
Looks perfect.
Looks perfect. Okay. So Josh keeps me going through these webinars in terms of all the technical stuff. So Josh is our marketing lead at InfoServe. He's got lots of experience in marketing. It's what he's been studying and working on, and he's very technical in when it comes to SEO and understanding Google and also wide range of technology. So I really welcome Josh to these webinars. He's a very trusty sidekick.
Thank you.
If you didn't know already, my name is Matt. I am the operations manager at InfoServe. Me and the team at InfoServe we're still going. We're here. We're working as normal. Everything's continuing as we always have for the last 20 years. Our team are all working from home, so hard at work, working on your products and your solutions. Now, you probably speak to our front end team more than the back end team. So the front end team are your account managers and consultants. The back end team are the people like me, Josh, a couple of other people that you haven't met yet. We'll be bringing them on to these webinars very soon. We've got the head of Google Ads and Microsoft Ads, Daniel Lescano. He is in our back end team. His team manage all of the Google Ads and Microsoft Ads campaigns. Then we've got Graham and his website team. So there's a whole back end team that you haven't met or probably spoken to. The geeks behind the scenes, you could say. But yeah, so we've been going since 1999. We're Yorkshire's only Google Premier Partner, Microsoft Elite Partner. What does that mean to you? We're at the top of our partnerships with both Google and Microsoft. We get direct support from both search engines from their London office, and we're very lucky to have that direct support. Essentially, they manage your campaigns with us. So they are looking over all the campaigns. Now, you don't get that level of management and partnership with other partners, with the kind of lower down partners that you can see in the Google and Microsoft partnership world. But yeah, we're Yorkshire's only Google and Microsoft partnership. So we're very, very lucky and very thankful for that indeed. And it's that kind of thing that's helped us drive so many good results for so many customers. Our number one aim is to see a business grow and to see them get a really good return on investment. Genuinely, nothing makes us feel better than seeing something work. And we're so passionate about digital marketing. I mean, I could sit here all day helping you guys and sorting digital marketing out for all of you. I'd love to. Hell, I'd even do one at the weekend. If you guys are available at weekends, then I'm happy to do webinars then as well. But we love digital marketing. And it's stuff like this. It's stories like this that really makes us love our job. As you can see, this client of ours, he wanted a shout out. So Keith, if you're watching, hello. But Keith told us he had £240,000 return in 12 months from our Google Ads and Microsoft Ads campaign. And he was only spending £900 a month. So that's for £900 a month, and he gets £240,000 back. He wasn't getting that return when he wasn't working with us. So he's worked with us and seen that return. And it's stuff like that that makes us really proud of what we do. So we love those kind of stories. If you do want extra help or extra support, please do reach out to me and the back-end team. You can reach out to me and the back-end team via infoserve.com/support. So that's infoserve.com/support. If you do want to kind of get that extra bit of help at the moment. So we're offering this help completely for free. So by the way, this thing here, the reason why I showed you this return on investment, I'm going to show you guys how you can set up your own campaign in these webinars. Yes, believe it or not, we're going to give away all of our secrets so that you can do it yourself. If time is money to you and if time is precious to you, and I understand, then of course we'd love to help you run a campaign, but we are essentially going to show you how you can do all these things as well. So this is the reason why I'm showing this. Is not for us, it's really because I'm building up to the fact that we're soon going to show you how to get a Google Ads campaign working really well for you and how you can do it. So that's coming. So first of all, though, before we get started with some of the more detailed stuff, I wanted to check in on something, and I wanted to check in on the GMB, Google My Business. Because by now, we're sort of 5 or 6 webinars in now, and I really want to make sure that everyone's done the essential stuff. I'm sure you have, but I just want to check. And if you haven't been into your GMB yet, you can do it directly on Google. You just click the icon at the top of Google, and you can get to Google My Business from there. And then obviously you get into your dashboard. But what I wanted to check is that you have updated all of your basic information. So you've got your telephone number correct, you've got the address, opening hours, the business information, and your services. Have you got all of that up to date and correct on your GMB? Please tell me you have, because that's so important. And of course, you can change the opening hours for the whole COVID-19 situation. You can adapt those opening hours. Have you got your short URL? Here's a screenshot of where you do it. You go to the info tab and you click add short name, and you can get a short name, a short URL. And then you can use that to email customers. You can email that to customers and ask for them to leave a review for your business. Please do get reviews, because 97% of people say that reviews impact their purchasing decision. So please do ensure that you're updating your Google presence with reviews on your Google My Business listing. It's completely free for you to do, and you can send an email to all of these customers asking them to leave a review. Make sure you're adding photos as well. I hope you've all had a chance to do that. So interior, exterior, meet the team. I'm sure I appreciate for some of you at the moment that might be difficult, but as soon as you can get some photos of you and your team, or interiors, etc., get some good photos on your GMB listing. And that's because we're repeating this because 90% of consumers are more likely to visit a business with photos on Google.
So just to answer some questions while you're taking that sip of coffee. Basically, with Google My Business, it does have some limited functionality at the moment. So they will eventually, reviews have been a big issue for Google. Basically, back in March, they deactivated some features due to just having limited staff available. All those features are now up and running, but they will gradually come back. So short names and reviews, any reviews left after the 20th of March will show in your GMB, but just not yet. It depends on which industry and what category you are down as. They're rolling it out by each category, by each country. So eventually they will display, but for now they are. It's just taking a little longer than expected.
Yeah. Absolutely right. Thanks, Josh, for that update. They will display. So that's really important. We looked yesterday though. That was just a quick check-in, guys. It's 1 minute to check in on your GMB. If you haven't done that already, do make sure that you do that. Okay, so we have been helping you with your website, improving it for conversions. So how you can get more inquiries from your website. Things like making sure the button is in a certain place. Coming back to that a little bit towards the end of this webinar, actually. So, where to put buttons, where to put contact forms, how to style your fonts and things like that, maybe towards the end of this webinar. But we were looking yesterday at social media, and I just want to really quickly recap. We showed you how to build a page on Facebook. Well, for success, a page that's going to get you more engagement. So making sure you've got your profile picture, your cover image, a story, make sure all that's done, and you've got your short name in there as well. And then what we went on to yesterday was all about creating a little ad on Facebook ads. Facebook ads it will show on Facebook and on Instagram. So Instagram was a bit of a topic of conversation yesterday. So this is why we want to say, for all of you, I recommend creating an ad on Facebook ads, and only need to put £25, £50 into that ad. Not much at all. The more you put in, though, the more you do get out of it. The more money you spend on an ad campaign. So an ad campaign basically is pay per click, essentially. So any kind of pay per click PPC ad, the higher the budget, the more inquiries you get. That is the general rule of thumb when it comes to ads. So if you're working with InfoServe with ads, or if you're working with another company, don't be worried about, I'm not saying this for us because we don't see that budget. Google and Facebook see that budget. So the more budget you put into your campaign, the more inquiries and the more traffic you will get out of it. It's as simple as that. And that's why the earlier story I said about that chap who spends £900 a month and he got £240,000 return. I mean, that's obviously an amazing situation. But he started his campaign at £200 a month. So he started with InfoServe on a budget of £200 a month. But he increased that to £900, and then he suddenly saw that huge increase in inquiries. And that's because that budget that you increase or you put in just goes straight to the campaign. It's straight into your spend or your clicks, because it's pay per click essentially. So there's no risk. It's because it's pay per click, you're only paying for quality traffic or for targeted traffic. But more on that kind of stuff tomorrow. We're going to go into that kind of stuff in tomorrow's webinar. So we talked yesterday about creating an ad on Facebook ads. So let's just focus on that for the time being. And we looked at the whole audience targeting. We said to you that the most popular or common choices here are the traffic selection there, or the engagement. The reason why that is because most people are either driving traffic to their website. So this is what you would use Facebook ads to drive traffic to your website. You can do that. Or the engagement option drives people to your page, your Facebook page, or gets engagement on the post itself. So I hope that makes sense. So you've got traffic to your website, typically, or you've got engagement on the actual post or your page. So those are really, for me, those are the best two choices. There are other options in here, and it depends on your goal. If you're simply wanting to get brand awareness, then you might want to pick the brand awareness option over there on the left-hand side of the screen. So you might want to pick that brand awareness option. What that does is just gets your name, gets your post to as many people as possible. And so we said to use business.facebook.com. Business.facebook.com, use that instead of clicking Boost Post, because when you click Boost Post, you're going through a very express version of Facebook ads. It's a quick express version of the product. So what we want to look at really quickly before we end the social media part is we wanted to check out the actual post itself. How might your post look? How should it look? Well, let's go back into the editor to where we were yesterday. Sorry, just going through those windows there. And hopefully you'll all remember that we were looking through this and we chose traffic as an example, and we put a lifetime budget of £25. Okay, so I'm just going to, this is just an example. And hang on a second, let me have a look. I might have to just do 26 pounds on this particular example. Okay, and then what we showed you is that you want to obviously be driving traffic to your website. That's typically the most common goal. And then what Josh showed you was all of the audience targeting and how you can target an audience through Facebook here. So, for example, we showed you. Let's say you're a fitness instructor, and then we wanted to target running, people that are interested in running. So we selected our audience like so. Let me think of another one. Marathon. Marathons, there we go. Interests, marathons, etc., etc. And we build up the audience that way. Josh, in one sentence, in a very quick summary, you remember what you said about how you can and you're selecting an audience and another audience. Do you remember? Do you want to just summarize that quickly for us?
So with detailed targeting, you can choose to target people who are interested in running and another interest. So that's a really good way of making sure you're targeting the right people. Rather than just targeting people who have an interest in running, it'd be good to target people who have an interest in running and have been to a marathon in the last 6 months, for instance. And they're more likely people that you're going to convert, because anyone could be interested in running, but you also want to make sure that they're interested in running and something else. And then that's how you can build up the profile.
Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously we showed you the age. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this, but you can target an age group. So, there'd be a typical age range that you might want to select here. I'm going to go up to, say, 50-year-old. I could probably look at 20-year-old to 50-year-old and so on. What is the type of audience that typically use my business? Well, there is another kind of tool that you could use. And if you go to Google and type in Facebook Audience Insights, let me just do that. So Facebook Audience Insights, and it's the first result on Google. So Facebook Audience Insights, I click on that first result. And there's a nice little kind of help. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Sorry, guys. There we go. There's a nice kind of help center here that you can learn more about the people that matter to your business, the people that are typically using or looking at your Facebook page. And you can start to understand if it's more female, male, what kind of lifestyle they have, what are they interested in. So I would actually recommend looking at this tool first. So you just head to the link on this page. So if you want to go directly to the link, the URL is, it's quite a long one, facebook.com/ads/audience-insights. But if you just Google Facebook Audience Insights, you will see you will find it from there. And so, yeah, you can use this tool to quickly establish what type of people are looking at your page. So, for example, if I'm looking at interests, I would go running. I'm going to have a look at running and wellness, etc. And people that are interested in running and wellness, well, 57% are women on Facebook. And there you go. You can have a look at their relationship status, education level. You can look at their job titles. Now, you can use this insights and knowledge to then go and build your audience through the Facebook ads interface. So that's just a quick tip. I'm only touching on that really, really briefly for those that are interested, because I know that looks quite complex, and it is quite complex. So I'm just touching on it briefly. You don't have to use that. Essentially, just make sure that you're choosing your audience like we're doing here. Choose your age group. Maybe narrow it down to female, male, etc. But one thing we showed you yesterday, for certain people, You can say, for example, you're in the wedding industry or you're a wedding photographer. Well, you can really go, and you'll know this if you're a wedding photographer. You've probably seen this already. But look, you can choose to target people that are newly engaged, people that are having a baby, etc., etc. There's all sorts of different targeting you can do, and I did that by just clicking on browse. So rather than typing in an audience, I clicked browse, and I can actually just view and have a look through all the different categories on here. So life events. Are they parents? Should I target parents, new parents, parents of adult children? So there's some really detailed targeting you can go into there. And like I say, it's under detailed targeting, and it's when I click browse that I get those options. So
you can also
targeting, browse.
You can also click suggestions as well, and it'll give you good suggestions of what you've picked. So as we've put in running and marathons, it's going to show us all kind of suggestions to do with running and marathons, just to kind of give you a bit of an idea. Again, Facebook know their audience really, really well. They know what kind of audience targeting works. A brilliant tip from Matt: have a look at your insights, find out what kind of people are already interacting with your posts. If you've got your customer profiles and you know what kind of customers already buy from you, I definitely put their demographics, interest, age into Facebook, and then you can build an audience based on who've already currently bought from you, and then you can target people who are like that audience.
Exactly. You can narrow down your audience, guys. A lot of you say that you've tried Facebook ads and it hasn't really worked that well. Well, this is why you want to understand your audience and narrow that audience down. So, I could, now that I know from that people who are interested in running, their job title is in the education and libraries, then I can then basically find that within the audience targeting, target that. Imagine if I just target that audience, I know that the majority of them are interested in running. And so you can start to understand how I can really narrow down. It's all about targeting and being intelligent with your audience targeting. But there's so many options within there. And as Josh just highlighted, you can just click suggestions. So type your first audience in and then click suggestions. And then you get given a load of good suggestions, half marathon, road running, et cetera, et cetera. If you're a plumber, pest control, accountant, well, accountants actually probably could target an audience, but if you're something like a plumber, electrician, how would you target an audience? Well, that's where the audience insights could come into play, or demographic, age, etc., interest. So if you're an electrician, would you be targeting homeowners? Well, there's ways and means of finding homeowners, but you might
recently moved in.
Recently moved in. So, Josh, you'll have to remind me where I think there's a moved in.
Just type in moved. It should type in moved in. See if that brings up anything. Again, it's a bit of trial and error, because what you can do.
There we go.
There we go. Recently moved. So you can.
So that's the kind of thing. It is trial and error, exactly. And we don't know every answer to every industry, but there's always an option for you. And it's just about thinking outside that box and just kind of that's a good one, because let's just get rid of all the running example there. But let's say for an electrician and we target recently moved. Well, that's an example of how we're really targeting a specific audience, and how my ad will then only be shown really to relevant people, and it's that relevancy that's important. So sorry, Josh, for cutting you off a bit.
Oh no, that's fine. I was just going to suggest, because what you can do is you can save these audiences. So if you go right to the top, you can actually name. There we go. Save this audience, and you can save that audience as whatever kind of name you want. And potentially, the best way to ever run any marketing is, again, split testing. And see what works best for you. If you've got two different audiences with one same ad, you can then decide which audience is working better, and you can get rid of that audience, and then you can tweak this audience a little bit more. It's all about trialing it and seeing what works best in your industry. I would recommend definitely saving your audiences, so then you can use them again. And if you're successful with one audience profile, then I'd use that with different ads and then start split testing the ads. The audience is the most important part to get right.
Exactly. So I've just saved that as an example. You know, I'm not targeting young females here. I'm just saying that that's a typical kind of name that I could name this as, or whatever. Men over 50-year-old, or people that have recently moved. You know, I could name that whatever I want. So yeah, there's all that. One thing we haven't discussed though is there is a cool feature within Facebook Ads where you can upload your customer email addresses, and it is within this audience. You could upload your customer email addresses.
Click create new custom audience.
Sorry, Josh?
If you click custom audience.
Yeah. I was just going to say that between the two here. So if you upload your customer emails, and then what you can do, guys, is you can actually target people. What it will do, Facebook will look at those emails, and it will target people who are on Facebook and Instagram that look like your customers. There's all sorts of options, lookalike audiences and things like that. So for example, the custom audience thing here, if I click on it, I can then use a customer list and upload a customer list, an email or whatever, a customer list up to Facebook here. And by uploading that, I can then target people that look like my customers. So how good is that? So if you're, like I say, if you're pest control, I think someone said to me yesterday, how can I target an audience on Facebook? Well, have you used the lookalike, the custom audiences, so where you can upload those customers, and it'll actually find people that look like those people, which is really beneficial for businesses like that. So that's great. So what I want to do though is move forward a little bit. We're just looking down the list here. Always leave it on automatic placements. There was we used to go manual, and what I mean by manual placement is we used to choose more where we want our ad to appear. So if you have a look at this list here, you can see I can untick where I want my ad not to appear. So basically it's going to appear on Facebook, Instagram, Facebook stories, Instagram stories. This is where my ad is going to currently appear. I can take it off any of these if I wanted to, but I'd recommend just leaving it on automatic placements, and it will place it in the best place where it will perform best. So just leave it on automatic placements. It's going to get found on Facebook and on Instagram and more. So it'll just you trust in the technology is what we're saying. Trust in the tech, and it will find the best place for your ad. Okay. So what we were looking at here is a traffic campaign. This is a clicks to your website campaign, trying to get more people to your website. You can actually choose how you want your budget to be used. Your budget could be used by landing page views, so people who are clicking on your ad and loading the website up, the landing page, or you can do it on clicks to your website. So actual people clicking through, or impressions, which means views, so views of your ads. We would recommend just leaving it on landing page views. And just leave it on landing page views, it should cost. It should be most cost efficient that way. So leave it on landing page views, or link clicks, but don't do impressions. No need to do impressions. Leave it on that. Okay, and then what you can do is set your time and date. So when do you want this ad to start and finish? So I'm just going to run it for a month. And yes, this is only £25. If you're spending £25 though, I'd recommend maybe 2 weeks rather than a whole month. Because remember, your budget on an ad campaign or a PPC campaign it's pay per click almost. So if you've got a very low budget and you spread that over a long period, then your daily clicks are very low. So this is great that I can speak to everyone, because if you're running a campaign with InfoServe and your budget is around £200, £250 a month, let's have a think. That daily budget is only a few pounds, the price of a lunch, let's say. So you're only getting a handful of clicks per day. Or if you're spreading your budget over 6 months or a year, you got to think about how much your daily budget is. So duration, length, a longer duration is not an indicator of a good campaign. The shorter the duration and means that the more budget is going into each day. So it's all about the daily clicks, your daily budget. And so rather than thinking it of a monthly product when it comes to PPC or ads, or a yearly product or a sixth, think of it as a daily product. It is a daily budget in all PPC campaigns, whether it be Facebook ads, Google ads, Microsoft ads. So what you want to try and do is have as much in your daily budget as possible. And so the more you have in your daily budget, the more throughout the day you're showing, basically. The more people you reach. The smaller the daily budget, the fewer people you reach, but it's spread over maybe a longer period. So you're seeing fewer over longer periods. So I would focus on shorter periods and higher budgets, higher daily budgets. And that's why the example at the start, the £900 a month, was he increased that daily budget, and then it suddenly, obviously, it exploded with inquiries. So same applies here. I would pick a 1 week or 2 week campaign. So I know I've just selected 1 month, but this is just an example. So I would select 1 or 2 week campaign on £25, just to keep that daily budget higher than if it was over 1 month. And then when it comes to the creative itself, what I would do is you've either got the choice of 3 things here, but I personally like the carousel. Okay, so I personally really like the carousel thing. I think those work really well. But if you've got a video, I'd recommend uploading using a video. If you've got a really good video, always video. We said that yesterday. That trumps everything. But I like the carousel. If I haven't got a video, I'd be selecting the carousel. And here's an example. Obviously, at the moment, I haven't put any images in. But the carousel is basically multiple images and multiple bits of text underneath that image. Now, what I need to do is on the left-hand side here, I now need to upload my image and put a description, a headline into the ad itself. And this is where you would do it. It's simple as that. And as you're doing that, you can see how the ad's going to look on all of these different platforms. It will preview your ad for you in all of the different things that you're at, where your ad is going to show. And so I'm sure you're all familiar with this kind of layout, but this is where you basically create your ad. So you would select an image. I'm not going to do that now because I haven't got multiple running images, but you'd select a different image for the different slide. So can you see here it says 1, 2, 3? So I currently have 3 different sliding images. So my first image might be a runner or me at work helping someone with their injury, and I'll go. My headline might be 30 minutes free consultation. So your headline is your that's the attention grabbing headline. Basically, that's the thing that you need to get. That's the attention grabbing part of this. Remember yesterday what I showed you is that your landing page, where the URL where this is going to go to, where people are going to land, needs to also have ideally that same headline. So yesterday I showed you how to create that page, and I had the same headline on that page. Or if you can't create a new page on your website, use an existing page, but make sure the wording is almost similar or at least relevant. You've got to make sure it's relevant. So I put my headline in, and then I put my description, and are you injured from running? For example, we can help, etc., etc. Now my landing page is going to be, and this is a company that we work with, and I'm going to put whatever the URL was, but that was a new URL that I made for that page. And yeah, so this is as simple as it is. It's just a case of putting in your content, uploading an image, and then I go to slide 2. And what I would do then is slide 1 is finished. So there's slide 1 on the right-hand side. And then I can do another image with a different piece of text. be faster. There's my headline for slide 2. It's still related to the 30 minutes consultation, and etc. 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 I'm not going to write it all out, but you get what I'm doing. I'm writing another on slide 3. So there's 1 and 2. If you can see there on the right hand side, I've got 1 and 2, and then on slide 3, call. Actually, the call to action is book your consultation now. Okay, and so on and so on. So I can also choose. I can also change the button. So at the moment it says learn more. I can change that to book now, because it's a consultation. So I want people to book now. I think that's a stronger call to action than learn more, and so on. Now there is one tip that I haven't used on my headline here, and I want to give you this tip for free. It is that on every first letter, use capital letters. So get 30 minutes free consultation, and then on number 2, well, and so on and so on. Oops, it's a little bit laggy on my computer here. So, but you get the idea. Use capital letters on the first letter of every headline. Okay. The reason why we're saying that is because obviously we've been doing this for years and years and years, and we've tested lots of different ads, thousands of ads. We know exactly what works when it comes to ad creation. And not only that, but Google tell us anyway. So Google and Microsoft tell us. So what gets more clicks and conversions is when you have a capital letter on the beginning of each word in your headline. So make sure you're doing that. Why? Don't ask me why. We'll have to get Dan, our head of Google Ads, to come on and tell us why. But apparently, and it does get more clicks and more conversions. So the click-through rate is stronger when you're using capital letters on each word. I don't like the look of it. I'm probably like many of you thinking, I don't really like it when you do that. And also, exclamation marks work really well. They increase conversion rates. So on each, for example, on each one, I've got an exclamation mark at the end, and I've got the capital letter at the start of the word. That does increase conversion rates, believe it or not. Small details like that can really change things by 5, 6, 10%. And even if that just means 1 or 2 more inquiries and bookings, well, that's extremely valuable. So it's worth doing. And so we know little things like that work well. We're not going into all of the detail and all of the kind of tips and tricks that we could give you here, but these are some of the sort of headline things that we can help you with. Make sure your image, like I say, if you've got pictures of people in your image, they always get more clicks. They always get more people coming through to your website when there's pictures of people. Sorry, but we could go into so much depth with ad creation. When it comes to ad creation, if we were doing this, we would do this, but we would do it 5 or 6 times over, because we would test multiple ads. So this is one campaign. So this is our campaign number 1, but we would do the same thing 3, 4, 5 times with a slightly different variation on each one. So for example, we'd take out 30 minutes and just put get a free consultation. We would change the image on the 3rd split test, and then on the 4th split test, we'd change the image again. We'd change the color on the 5th one, and we change the ad ever so slightly on each variant. And if you can do that, if you've got time to do that, do it. So it might be that you're selecting a single image or a video. Well, go ahead and try do this same thing more than once, and just change the ad slightly on each one. And what we do is we measure which is working the best, which one's getting the most clicks, which is getting the most traffic, and then we'll run with that particular ad moving forward. So we'll give it a month, we'll split test across multiple ads, and we'll give it a month, and then we'll go with the one that's working the best. So there is that extra depth of detail that we would typically go to, but this is really good advice, what we're showing you here, and this will set you up. This plus the audience targeting will really set you up nicely in terms of getting an ad Just before Josh speaks, I know he's itching to say something. I just want to finish on one last thing. Of course, I'm putting my URL, my website URL, potentially that landing page that I've made, or a page on my website that's relevant to this ad. Another quick tip is if you're just sending people to your home, the home of your website, that's okay. That's not the worst thing. Send them to your home. I'm going to show you in a moment what you can do on your home of your website to really improve conversion rates and inquiries. So I'm going to come to that in a minute. So if you want to just put your home, www.infoserve.com, that's okay. But I'm going to have to show you something in a moment that will improve the conversion and inquiries. But before Josh says something, there's one last thing I want to kind of highlight here, and it's the Facebook Pixel. The Facebook Pixel is a code that Facebook will give you. So you need to go ahead and set this up here by clicking that button, and you can set it all up here if you can. And Facebook will give you a code, and what you do with that code is put it into your website. Facebook will tell you exactly where to put that code, but you might need to speak to your web developer. Don't worry, this isn't actually that difficult. Just follow the instructions, get the Facebook Pixel code, and Facebook will tell you to put that code, say for example, in the header of your the body of your website. Where do you do that? How do I put the code in the body of my website? Well, I'm going to show you in a moment where you would do that. But it is literally just a code. You just paste it into your website and you're done. But what Facebook Pixel does is it really does allow you to build a better, more targeted audience for the future. So what Facebook Pixel does is it tracks people that are going on your website. Not just from Facebook ads, but from so just people going on your website. And it's building up a list of people on your website. So it's building up, hundreds or dozens and dozens of website visitors. And over a month or two, once that time's passed, you've built up this list. It's behind the scenes, Facebook's built up that list. You then can get that list and go, okay, I want to retarget those people, or retarget the people that didn't inquire with me, or even better, I want to find people that look like the people that went to my website. So imagine that. Imagine if you have a tracking thing, or a tracking code would be the professional way to put a tracking code on your website that is tracking people that are going on your website. Obviously, those people are interested in your services, right? So those might be people, if you're a pest control or a plumber or an electrician, I'm using those examples because those are typically the types of business owners that say, Facebook ads doesn't work. How on earth do I target an audience for Facebook ads? Get Facebook Pixel installed on your website and build up that audience. And then later down the line in 4, 5, 6 weeks, you can then target people that looked like the people that were going on your website, which is so powerful, so incredibly powerful. And that is how you unlock the Facebook success. So make sure you get Facebook Pixel set up. If you want any help with that, again, obviously we're here to help. Infoserve.com/support, or reach out to your account manager. I'll be making sure after this webinar to speak to all of our account managers that are working and just saying, guys, this is what we talked about today, because now we're getting into a bit more depth and detail. I'll make sure that they're all aware of what we're talking about when it comes to Facebook Pixel. But us back-end guys, they'll be reaching out to us anyway. So we can all help with you anyway. So just reach out to us and we can help you set this Facebook Pixel up. Like I say, it'll probably take us about 15-30 minutes probably to set up. So it's a really powerful tool. Josh, did you want to say something?
Yeah, so couple of questions that have been in the chat. So someone's asked, obviously, with are you allowed to upload customer emails to Facebook? Now, as part of GDPR, obviously you need their consent to market to them. So in your privacy policy, especially when you install a Pixel and everything like this, you do need to inform those website visitors and your customers how you're going to be using their data, and you do need their consent to do that. So just make sure that you do have their consent, make sure it's in your privacy policy. As soon as you start uploading email addresses and stuff to Facebook, you are then a data controller according to GDPR. So you need to just cover yourself on that part without a doubt. Again, make sure that you do have their permission before you use their email addresses and create these lookalike audiences. If you are just using just the normal audience tool and you're using interests and stuff, that's fine. Facebook have already put that in their T's and C's. Whenever you use Facebook, you agree to that. But it's just whenever you upload emails and so forth.
Yep.
Just to cover a couple of questions around Google My Business. I know we're jumping back, but I can see you chatting about it in the chat. Just to confirm what I said earlier, Google did disable some features. They are all now active again, but they are going to take some time to roll out. So when creating short names and new reviews and so forth, it is going to take a little while for them to accept them. Depending what business category you have, you can actually create a short name now today. Google haven't given us a list of which categories and businesses who get it first. Again, they're rolling it out. This is only because of the limited staff that they had. Now they're starting to get back to normal. All of those features will eventually become available for everyone. But again, it's just rolling out very slowly. So if you don't get your short name accepted to begin with, don't worry. Try back in a week's time, see if it works then as well. And you can try use the same short name as well.
Okay. I'll have to stop you there, Josh, just because of the time, if that's okay, because we've got a couple of other things we need to go through. Thanks, Josh, for picking up the questions. Some really good answers there. Privacy policy. I'll come to that in a second as well, actually. But all of this links to your website. So what we looked at there is driving traffic to your website. Of course, what we could have done is select the engagement option on Facebook. Sorry to just flick around here. If I just go back quickly, and just to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, create ad. There we go. There we go. These are all examples that I've set up. So I'll just set up another example. I've got about 50 examples now running at the moment. Okay, so I've got the other option is engagement. And remember what this one was all about. I'm not going to go through all of this. I'm just highlighting the fact that you can get people to engage with your post, or you can get people to like your page. So everything's exactly the same with this. Of what we've just gone through, everything's exactly the same with the audience targeting and the ad creation, the post creation. It's all exactly the same, but it just gets you a different goal. It gets you a different objective. And again, you can select lifetime or daily budget. Note this, that it's always defaulted to daily budget. And that is essentially how pay-per-click works. Everything's around the daily budget. And so, it's ask yourself, how much per day do you want to, the more you put in per day, like I say, the more you get out of it. Whereas a lifetime budget, if, it's defaulting there to £1,000. But if you were to just put £25 in, you can obviously do that. I think I need to put 26 there. Sorry. Or maybe more, 27. So if you can put some small amounts in there, but that really is stretched over. The daily budget's reduced there, so it works the same. But you've got the engagement, you've got the brand awareness, where you can reach more and more people and just show your brand to people. It's just showing you off. But my recommendation is traffic or engagement. Okay, so traffic or engagement. Okay, so in terms of your website, come on, tips and tricks. What I wanted to show you was we've previously spoken about your landing page and how you should optimize your landing page for that Facebook ad campaign, or for that Google Ads campaign, or for the Microsoft ads, or for anything. Look, a service page on your website should really be optimized like this. Any standard service page should have a really strong call to action, which is what you can see there, the button saying sign up now, an attention grabbing headline. So this isn't just for ads or when you're spending money, because I know many of you won't want to spend money, and that's completely understandable. But what I would recommend is that you have your pages on your website designed for success. Now, they don't have to look exactly like that, by the way. They don't have to have a contact form at the top, but there are some key elements that they do need to have. Unique selling points, a clear call to action, etc., etc. Okay, let me just get a glass of water before I start coughing. We've also spoken about actually improving your website overall and getting more conversions from your website. So we've also gone over various different bits and bobs. I mean, I'm going to sort of loosely ask the audience here, but what do you think we mean by reliability? There's the word there, reliability. How is your website meant to be reliable? What does that actually mean? Well, I said loosely because I'm going to answer it myself. Josh, what do you think I mean by a reliable website?
So a reliable website is someone who is trustworthy.
Yeah.
And obviously you need to look out for a couple of things like accreditations, testimonials as well. A reliable site to me, I mean, I suppose it's open for interpretation because
It is.
reliability for me would be, do they have I'm looking out for this though, but do they have a mobile website?
Yeah.
Does it load fast? Do they have accreditations? Do they have
Yeah.
testimonials? Those would be the
Yeah.
nuts and bolts that I'd look for.
You're absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right. And it's in addition, it could be much more as well. But in addition to all of those things you just said, it's how easy does it load quickly? Basically, does it work well? Is it a seamless process? Frictionless, basically, especially if you're e-commerce. If you're e-commerce, you need a frictionless path to purchase. Frictionless meaning minimize the things that are going wrong, minimize the issues, minimize the clicks, minimize the number of fields. Reliability, just does it work well? Is it a secure website as well? But we've touched on a lot of these things here. But I want to go to the website editor because I promised to go into this a bit more, so we will be. But what we were talking about before is on your Facebook ad or any ad campaign or anything, even a promotion. If you're wanting to run a promotion yourself, and with no budget, it's absolutely fine. You can do so. What I'd recommend is that if you're sending people to your website and your website currently doesn't mention that promotion, okay, so let's say you've created a Facebook ad, 25, 35, whatever pound budget, and you're doing a free 30-minute consultation. It could be 20% off. It could be buy one, get one free. It could be a free tour of the venue. It could just be free quote, get a bespoke quote. It doesn't actually have to be a discount. So I know many of you don't want or can't give discounts, and that's absolutely fine. But let's highlight something in your business that will attract people. Think lead gen. What is it that you can offer that will get more leads into your business? And so just something that you're already doing, let's promote it. So it might just be a 30-minute free consultation, for example. Well, if you've got an InfoServe website, you can do that really quickly. You can get that offer really quickly on your homepage. If you haven't got an InfoServe website and you are just sending people to your homepage, but you're really concerned because the headline, that attention-grabbing headline isn't matching the ad that you created on Facebook ads. So remember we talked about having your website match the kind of same wording? Well, you just need to ask your web developer to do the following, which I'm going to show you now. So there's two things that, there's a couple of things that we can do. So first of all, what I'm going to do for the sake of InfoServe customers on the web editor, I showed you yesterday how you can create a new page. We've already made the pages for you. We've already designed them all for you. Our website product is a website for life. We sincerely don't think you need a new website because you can create new pages, amazingly designed pages yourself for free at any time. So you can do that anytime you want, or we can do it really easily. So you never really need a new website. But if you're running that campaign on Facebook, instead of going to pages, go to pop-ups. And you can create a pop-up on your homepage. So I'm going to go new pop-up and I'm going to go promotion. So we've already made these pop-ups for you. So I click promotion and I'm going to rename that 30-min consultation. Oops, there we go. And I'm going to add that pop-up. And what will happen is that pop-up can appear when someone goes on my homepage. So I'm going to get rid of that because I don't need that. Free 13-minute. Oh, got to use my own best practice consultation. Okay, it doesn't fit on one line, so I'm going to reduce that font size slightly. I want it to fit on one line. There we go. Injured. Have you got an injury? Free consultation. Help you. Something like that. So you get the picture. This is just an example. I'm just going to change that color, and I'm going to I can click on that button and book now. And what I want to do is send those people to an existing page, the contact page. So I'm going to send them to the contact page, and there we go. So that's it. And so what happens is when someone lands on my homepage, after a few seconds, the pop-up can appear. And that is how you get around not having a dedicated page for your campaign. You must at least have something on your website that is showing that same messaging as your ad or your promotion. I can go to the bottom here and click pop-up settings. So just down here, you've got a pop-up setting, and I can change, the background images and all that. But what I want to do is I want to display this pop-up using a rule, a personalization rule, through a button. So I'm just going to come out of here really quickly and I won't publish that. I'm just going to go. You see on the left-hand side here, if you're an InfoServe customer, again, you can click personalize. And another way of doing that is actually choosing. So I can now choose a rule. And if you've not seen this already, then you've really been missing out. Speak to your account manager or us guys, and if you can't see this on your editor, we can enable it for you for free. And you can select, there's COVID-19 messages. We've done them all already for you. You've got the special promotion. We've got pop-ups that can show to first-time visitors. So we've got pop-ups that can show to returning visitors. Or, for example, if someone's nearby on a mobile phone, near your premises, we can have a pop-up appear when they're on their mobile phone nearby. Yes, we can do that, and you can do that in your website editor for free. How amazing is that? And so it's there's all sorts of different things that you can do, and also seasonal pop-ups as well, restaurants, flowers, etc., etc. So I'm going to go on to and click first time visitors. So basically, if a visitor comes to the site for the first time, I'm going to select a pop-up. I'm not going to go through all this because we're running out of time, but I can select my pop-up in there really easily, or I can just simply go to pop-up here, click pop-up, and I'll go special sale pop-up. Let me check how it's all working out. So you've got the event, start date, end date, and I've got triggers that depending, and I can select all of the triggers. So for example, if someone's on a device such as mobile phone, there's all sorts of things you can mess around with here and play around with. But this is just a quick preview into all of the different things that you can do. And I just click. It's really easy. It's a wizard. So it takes you through it really easily. And then you can select your pop-up and, etc., etc. That's the way to get around having to make a new page. Alternatively, before we move on, make sure if you don't want a pop-up, because some people don't like pop-ups, that's okay. Just on the homepage here, just underneath the homepage hero, it says add section. If I hover my mouse, again, if you haven't got an InfoServe website, don't worry. Just ask your website developer to do this. Look how quickly I made a pop-up. It took me 5 minutes, right? So if your web developer is looking to charge you £250, £350, wow, that should not be the case. Creating a simple pop-up on your website should, let's say it's an hour's work, 50 quid or whatever, they shouldn't be charging you too much, or £100 at most. Certainly not £200, £300, £400. Those are some of the stories I'm hearing from people, web developers creating little pop-ups or little sections on the website should not be costing multiple hundreds of pounds. So it should be a very quick and easy job. And if you've got an InfoServe website, you can do it yourself. And this is why I'm showing you. So you click add section. So if you don't want to pop up, just click add section, and we've built all of the sections again for you here on the left-hand side. I'm going down to promotion. So I click on the promotion tab, and again, we've got all of the promotions here. And that one there looks like a really good one for a running website. So I'm going to click on that one there, and it's going to preview it in a second, but I'm just going to save it. And there we go. And I know the colors are a bit jarring at the moment, but I can quickly change that. Actually, it kind of works. It really does stand out quite well. I quite like it. I can reduce this really easily. I can change the text, and so on. I'm not going to go through all this again, but I'm going to take some of that text away. Book now, etc. Available until June. Obviously, some of these dates are out of date now. We've been doing this for a while, so just change those. And then look, what I'll do is I'll change that button to a book now, and I'll make it go to my contact page, and I'm done. There we go. So I might change that image in the background, of course. This isn't a vet. This is just an example. I'm just showing you a quick way of how you can mess around. But look how good that looks. And so if someone's come from my ad campaign or my Facebook or my Google and they've landed on my website and I'm running a particular type of promotion, there we go. That's how I can do that. I could even reduce the size of all of this. There's so much you can do to edit and tweak this. Oops, I'll just change the font size here really quickly to show you how I can edit the size and so on. And that will do. That's a nice little section. I can change the background image anyway. So if I'm not keen on that, let's just go for a. It doesn't make any sense this because we're talking about running, but yet we're picking a dog. I get that, but there we go. I can do any kind of background really easily. And we'll be going into all of this detail soon because we want to show you more. For those people that have an InfoServe website, this is really useful. If you don't have an InfoServe website, this is still an eye-opener as to how you can quickly improve your digital marketing and how you can get more inquiries from an ad or promotion that you're running. So whether it be a pop-up or just a section on your website, you need to have that promotion on your website. You need to have that promotion on your Facebook page, on your Instagram page, on your Twitter, on your Google My Business post. Create a post on Google My Business and have the same promotion, the same text, and get it running everywhere. Get that text in as many places as you can with the same headline, the same call to action. It really will work very well for you. Just finally, Josh mentioned about privacy policy page. Well, you can easily set up a privacy policy page. And in the InfoServe editor, you can do that in seconds. We've already done it for you. So you add a page here, and you can then customize that page. So I've got a new page /privacy. I can put a cookie notification on. We do all this for our customers anyway, so you won't need to do this. But you can, quickly customize that privacy page that we've written. We've already created a template, and all you do is change the red bits. So we're really helping you out with that. But yeah, that's in terms of what Josh was talking about with privacy policy. So there's a quick preview of some of the things that you can do to get more inquiries from a very low budget campaign. Make sure you've got that repeated on your website, or if you can, create a landing page and fire that campaign or fire that promotion, point it towards your landing page. And there you go. I've created a new page within 3 seconds. All I need to do is change the content, and there we go. So it's really easy to do all this. If you're interested, or if you want to speak to us, or you want more advice or help, just reach out, infoserve.com/support. Please do. Tomorrow, what we're going to do is show you how to dramatically increase inquiries through Google Ads and Microsoft Ads. And no, this won't cost you very much at all. So we're going to show you how to do that on a very, very low budget. If anything, we've got a very special offer for you tomorrow, which I think everyone will be interested in. But we're going to show you effectively how you can do it, how you can dramatically increase inquiries. We're getting to the point where we would say to start getting found on Google Ads and Microsoft Ads. The reason being is because other businesses are not thinking that way. And yes, search volume in some cases has reduced, but there are people looking for your services. I can almost guarantee that there will be people looking online for what you do, planning for the future or thinking about it now. But there are people, maybe fewer people, but there's certainly, let's scrape those searches and let's get those in now or in time for June, for example. But we're going to show you how you can do it. All of this is showing you how you can do stuff, not how we can do it for you, how you can do it yourself. So we'll show you how to do that tomorrow, and we'll be linking that back again to the website, some more help on your website. So we'll be doing that again tomorrow at 11 a.m. So hopefully see you then. Josh, final comments, questions?
No, yeah. So thank you very much, guys. That's pretty much everything. Again, we're run out of time, but yeah, we'll follow up with your one-to-ones. The team are working hard to go through all of the requests. They will be in touch soon. So yeah, but thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow. We'll get through some of these questions now. We'll see if there's anything outstanding. If you need any help, do reach out to us at the link at the top of the chat. All we hope from these is that you take one thing away, one or two things away. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Go and enjoy the sun. It's going to be another warm day tomorrow, but make sure you block out 11 till 12. No sunbathing, no outside time, 11 till 12 tomorrow. If we do it, you can do it. So we'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Thank you so much. And Raoul, thank you for the comments. It really is nice to see that we're helping at least, and we're getting you through this challenging period. All the best from InfoServe. Wishing you well. Stay safe. And we hope to see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Thank you. Thanks. Bye.
Brilliant.
See you.